It is not even remotely hyperbolic to say what you are about to witness was the worst press briefing we have ever seen at the White House. Donald Trump was tired, he was sluggish, he was slurring, he was furious with the entire state of Minnesota, with Gavin Newsom, with reporters calling out his lies, and he completely crumbled again and again and again. And we are going to get into every bit of this press conference because it was insane. But I want to start where Donald Trump did, with the most disgusting attack against Renee Good yet. I can't even believe what I heard, and I can't even believe that it got worse from there.
But when she was shot, there was another woman that was screaming shame, 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 right? You saw it so loud. She was like a professional opera singer. She was so loud and so professional. She wasn't a woman that was hurt, like, oh, my heart's injured. She was a professional. She's shame, shame. She's screaming shame, shame. I said, that's not a normal person. That's a professional. These are professional agitators and professional people that want to see our country do badly.
It is difficult to wrap your head around the depravity of this situation. Her partner was a paid agitator because after seeing Renee Good killed, she was shouting shame at a murderous ICE thug. That seems like a pretty normal reaction. You're saying that she was an opera singer because she was yelling at one of your thugs? It is difficult to consider what is happening in Donald Trump's brain and think anything else than the obvious fact that he is in clear cognitive decline. The 25th Amendment needs to be invoked, and every single Republican who refuses to do so is allowing our country to be ripped apart by a murderous madman with a broken brain that is leaking out of his ears. He is a criminal. He is allowing for criminality, and he doesn't know what he's doing. He is unraveling before our very eyes. Just look at him literally showing photos because he doesn't know how to read and talking about and fear-mongering over all the scary criminals.
I think it's appropriate that because Minnesota is so much in the fray, and I say to my people all the time, and they're so busy doing other things, they don't say it like they should. They're apprehending murderers and drug dealers and a lot of bad people, and these are just some of the more recent ones that we have, and I can show you some of the people, vicious, many of them murderers. These are all out of Minnesota, just Minnesota. I say, why don't you talk about that more? Because people don't know. Do you want to live with these people?
Do you know a list of criminals I would really like to see Donald Trump show us pictures of? How about the Epstein class? How about your buddies in the Epstein Island? How about your photos with Jeffrey Epstein? Donald, how about you bring some of those forward? I would really like to see those. But the press conference only got worse. As you can hear, Donald Trump is tired, he's slurring, he's confused. The press, that room is jam-packed. They are dead silent. They're dead silent. And it's because Donald Trump is clearly unhinged. They're probably petrified of interrupting him and seeing what would happen, but he just continued to lose it. Before he attacked Newsom, he of course had to attack the paid agitators.
No, Minnesota, the crime is incredible. The financial crimes are incredible. And the problem is because of the agitators and insurrectionists, whatever you want, troublemakers, but they're paid agitators and insurrectionists. Nobody talks about the fact that $19 billion at a minimum is missing in Minnesota, given to a large degree by Somalians. They've taken it. Somalians, can you imagine? And they don't do it. A lot of very low IQ people, they don't do it. Other people work it out, and they get the money, and they go out and buy Mercedes-Benzes, and they come from here, they have no money. They never had money. They never had a life. They never had a government. They never had a country, because there's basically no country. Somalia is not even a country. They don't have anything that resembles a country. And if it is a country, it's considered just about the worst in the world. They come here and they become rich and they don't have a job.
Just to be clear on who's getting away with fraud, over half of Trump's 88 individual pardons so far, of course, setting aside the mass January 6 pardons, have been for white-collar criminals who have laundered money, committed bank fraud, wire fraud, stealing from people like you and I in ridiculous and criminal business ventures, and Donald Trump has wiped clean all of their accountability. So if we want to talk about fraud, let's talk about that fraud. If we want to talk about paid agitators, let's talk about the people that Elon Musk was paying in Wisconsin and in Pennsylvania and across the country to vote for Donald Trump. And if you want to talk about low IQ, how about a president who needs pictures to go give a press conference in which he loses his mind? That's pretty low IQ to me. And what else is low IQ is Donald Trump's assessments of Gavin Newsom, who really set him off today. We're going to check out the clip of what got him so mad at Davos, but Donald Trump's attack on Gavin Newsom was just what we've expected at this point.
Regulations where they go by California, which is a disaster state, where the governor that truly is doing a bad job is killing that state. If he ever ran the country, this country would be Venezuela very quickly.
He is deranged. He is a deranged madman. There is no other way to put it. He is furious that Gavin Newsom called him out. And again, we're going to check out that clip, but he just can't handle himself. I don't think that anyone can look at this man seriously and not think that there is something deeply medically wrong with him. Seriously, a former White House doctor just yesterday said that Congress needs to intervene, that there needs to be medical intervention, that there needs to be an investigation sanctioned by Congress into Donald Trump's mental state, because he is broken. He is a deeply unwell person, and every single reporter in that room knows it because they are sitting in silence, terrified of what they are watching, not even able to believe that this is the current state of the President of the United States, and it is why Gavin Newsom went to Davos. He's in Switzerland right now, and he's telling world leaders to wake up, to rip up the old playbook, and to start actually fighting back.
The Europeans should decide for themselves what to do. But one thing they can't do is what they've been doing, and they've been playing. This guy is playing folks for fools, and it's embarrassing.
Europeans think this is diplomacy, and this will ultimately
this is diplomacy with Donald Trump? He's a T-Rex. You mate with him or he devours you. One or the other. People need to stand. No, Europeans could be if they continue to down this path and process. They need to stand tall, stand firm, stand united. Look, you said this a year ago. We should have been having this conversation, and they didn't. Okay, and now you're paying the price. Exactly what anyone objective observer would have anticipated we'd be where we are.
What do you think your underlying response said that would lead to the end of the European Union?
I don't want to be hyperbolic about it, but this guy's a wrecking ball. I hope people are waking up to what we're dealing with. This is code red. I mean, you guys are still playing by all set of rules. Everybody, the globe is with this guy. He's unmoored. It's the law of the jungle. It's the rule of dawn. And I hope it's dawning on the world what we're up against. I mean, this is serious. This guy he's not mad. He's very intentional, but he's unmoored and he's unhinged. And it requires the goal is whatever he wants it to be. The goal is the world in his image. He's a narcissist. I mean, it's no advice, common sense. Why don't folks do what they say publicly, what they're saying in private? Why don't they just simply do what they know is right? I mean, these guys, everybody's talking behind his back. They're laughing at him. Meanwhile, they're sucking up to him. It's embarrassing. I mean, you're modeling behavior for our kids, generations of folks. This is not diplomacy. This is stupidity.
This is not a normal situation. This is not a normal presidency. This is not a normal person. And even if this was Donald Trump from 2016, that is an equally deranged individual, but it's gone beyond that. He is just letting us know. I truly struggle for the words, because listen to how open and honest he's being about how deranged he is, about how self-obsessed he is, about how narcissistic he is. Just listen to this clip right here as the press conference continues to get worse.
Why is it the Gulf of Mexico? It should be the Gulf of America. I was going to call it the Gulf of Trump, but I thought that I would be killed if I did that. I wanted to do it. I wanted to. My people worked so hard. Sir, I don't think it'll look too good. I'm telling you, it's a good thing. And it'll be hotter than ever, I said. No, but I decided not to do that. I'm joking, when I say that. I was not going to call it the Gulf of Trump. Because tomorrow it'll be, Trump wanted to call it the Gulf of Trump, but he was rebuffed by his people. My people don't rebuff me too much. The Gulf of Trump, that does have a good ring, though. Maybe we could do that. It's not too late. No, we have the Gulf of America now. It's great. It's
Oh, you wanted to call it the Gulf of Trump? I think that's the least surprising thing that he has said during this entire presidency. Donald Trump recognizes that this is the end. And that's not hyperbolic. He recognizes that the midterms are going to make him a lame duck. He recognizes that he could lose the Senate and not be able to nominate another Supreme Court justice or two. He recognizes that his health is bad. He recognizes that he is out to preserve his legacy, which will be the worst presidency in American history, maybe the worst person to live in the 21st century. I just truly don't know if you can deny the fact that Donald Trump is well aware of his own mortality at this point and is just trying to throw shit at the wall that will make himself stick, because he just can't reckon with the fact that there won't be Trump any longer. That's why he wants to put his name on more stuff. That's why he wants to steal territory. It's why he wants to claim and claim and claim, because he needs to preserve himself in some way. And he understands that he's losing it. I think even he knows that. Why else would he be covering his hands in makeup? Why else would he be hiding his cankles? He knows he's lost it. Listen to him slurring, talking about drug prices, and tell me this man hasn't completely gone.
But we secured most favored nations agreements to slash drug prices by as much as 300, 400, 500, and even 600%, including with Pfizer, AstraZeneca, Eli Lilly, Novo Nordisk, Gilead Sciences, EMD, Serenio.
The worst press briefing we have ever seen. I do not know how Carolyn Levitt is going to compete with this, because it is truly a new low for our entire country. He's an embarrassment. That is what he is. He is an embarrassment to all of us. And Donald Trump and the Republican presidents before him, as I said in a previous video, has stripped so much from my generation. Their spending on forever wars has cost us a deficit that we may never be able to recover. Their allowance of greed and for banks to run wild and unregulated created multiple housing crises, which means we may never be able to afford our own house. And of course, Donald Trump is ruining our standing on the world stage. That is what we have gotten out of this presidency. And still, he finds more ways to be deranged, like in this clip right here.
We're all allowed in here by an open border policy of the worst president in the history of our country. A man that didn't win the election, by the way, it's a rigged election. Everybody knows that now. And by the way, numbers are coming out that show it even more plainly.
The worst press briefing we have ever seen. I truly did not have enough words for the meltdown that we just witnessed, except for our 25th Amendment. That's all I can say. And we're going to continue to call for that on this show. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video. If you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. Keep on fighting, y'all. Don't let them silence you. And until next time, I'll see you soon.